Hi everyone, and thank you so much for watching my channel, The Witty Turtle. In this video, we're going to start with illustration number 19. The question says a retailer deals in a perishable commodity. Right? Perishable commodity, what is that? All those goods which gets perished very soon, which gets क्या बोलते हैं उसको, वो खराब हो जाता है, which gets rotten very soon. The daily demand and supply are variables, right? Obviously, the daily demand and supply are definitely variables. The data for the past 500 days show the following demand and supply. So the data for the last 500 days are given here. The first column shows the availability in kgs. The second shows supply, and the third one shows demand, and the last one shows the third one shows demand in kilograms, and the last one shows demand in terms of number of days. The retailer buys the commodity at 20 rupees per kg, right? The retailer buys. That means this is your cost, right? He's buying the commodity at 20 rupees per kg and it sells at 30 rupees per kg. So यहाँ पर profit कितना हो रहा है? 10 rupees per kg. Any commodity remains at the end of the day has no sales value. Okay, so if any commodity is remaining at the end of the day, that means that is a total waste because it has got no resale value. Moreover, the loss on unsatisfied demand is 8 rupees per kg. The loss on unsatisfied demand is 8 rupees per kg. Given the following pair of random numbers, simulate 6 days sales, demand and profit. Okay, so here some pairs 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6. Okay, 6 pairs of random numbers are given through which you have to simulate the sales, demand and profit of 6 days. The first random number in the pair is that of supply and the second random number is for demand. So the first one is for supply, the second one is for demand, right? This way you have to simulate the 6 days sales. Great. So now we will start with the solution. In the first table, what do we need to do? We need to make the probability distribution table for supply. In the second table, we need to make the probability distribution table for demand, right? So for supply, look at the question and tell me what is the availability. The availability is 10, 20, 30 and 40 and 50 kgs, and supply in number of days has also been given to you. So how to calculate the probability? Number of supply in terms of number of days has been given to you, and we also know the total number of days, that is 500. So you can write it as 40 days अगर दिया है आपका supply का, then that will be 40 divided by 500. So your probability will come as 0.08. Then if 50 days are given, then that will be 50 by 500, 0.1, 190 by 500, 0.38. Likewise, you can calculate the probabilities, and after calculating the probabilities, you can calculate the cumulative probabilities, right? This is the last question. We have been doing this very same thing since the first question itself. You can also calculate the range and range of probability, and ये वाला column अगर आप नहीं भी लिखोगे then also that is fine. You can skip this column, these two columns, and you can finally write the range of random numbers for simulation. This is 0.08, so the range will be from 0 to 0.7. This is 0.18, so that the range will be 0.8 to 1.7, right? This way you can calculate the range. The very same thing you can do for demand as well. The demand in supply, the availability has been given to you, and demand in number of days has been given to you. So you can make it divide by 500 and you can calculate the probabilities, right? And then you can find the cumulative probabilities, and finally you can get the range. Now what do you need to do? In the table 3, you need to show the simulated data, right? In the first part, you need to write the simulated data for supply. In the second part, you need to make the simulated data for demand. Now look at the pairs. Look at the random number pairs, and the first pair is what? 31 and 18. So 31 is for supply and 18 is for demand. So 31 random number falls in which range? 31 falls in the third range. So availability आपका supply क्या हो जाएगा? 30 kgs. 30 kgs, right? Similarly, the second random number is 63. 63 falls in the fourth category, so your supply will be 40 kgs. Then you have 15, which falls in the second category, so your supply is 20. 7 falls in the first category, supply is 10, then 30, then 40. And likewise, you can do it for demand as well. Like in the day 1, your random number is 18, right? 18. So this falls here in the second range. So second range में आपका demand will be 20, then 40, 40, 30, 40 and 20. Likewise, you can calculate the demand. You can calculate you can do the simulation for demand for upcoming 6 days, right? So in every question we used to solve the answer till here, but in this question we also need to show the supply, demand and also the profit, right? So in the first day your supply is how much? Supply is of 30 kgs and the demand is for 20 kgs, right? So your sales revenue will be how much? Sales revenue will be, आपका selling price कितना है? 30 rupees है ना? So your demand is 20, so 20 into 30, your sales revenue will be 600. And also your cost is how much? You are supplying 30 kgs and you are buying those raw material, your commodity at 20 rupees per kg. So 30 into 20, again it will be 600. So here your profit is coming as nil, right? Now in the second case your supply is how much? 40 kgs and demand is also 40 kgs. So your sales revenue कितना हो रहा है यहाँ पे? 40 into 30, that is 1200, and your cost is how much? 40 into 20, that is coming as 800. So यहाँ पर आपका profit आ रहा है straight 400. Now in the third case your supply is 20, right? अगर supply 20 है, then your cost will be how much? 400, 20 into 20, and your demand is 40, right? So 40 में आपका ये कितना आ जाएगा? आपका सेल्स रेवेन्यू यहाँ पे 40 into 30 नहीं होगा. This point is very important. Why? Because whatever supply you have, you will cater the demand from that much only. अगर आपके पास डिमांड है 40 kgs का, बट आपके पास अवेलेबल ही है 20 kgs, so how will you be able to cater to the demands? You won't be able to cater to the demands. So that will be how much? So आप 40 में से, out of this 40, you can only fulfill the demand of 20 kgs. So your sales revenue will be how much? 20 into 30, that will be 600. Now again look at the question, there is again a clause given that loss due to unsatisfied demand. Loss due to unsatisfied demand is 8 rupees per kg. 8 rupees per kg. And how many kgs का आपका unsatisfied demand हो रहा है? 20 kgs. 40 minus 20, right? 20 kgs. So it will be 160. Now here you are generating a profit of 200. Sales revenue minus cost, you are generating a profit of 200, and out of those 200, your loss due to unsatisfied demand is 160. So finally you are getting a net profit of 40 rupees. 40 rupees, right? In day 4, your supply is how much? 10, and your demand is also 30. So this is a similar situation where you will get loss due to unsatisfied demand. So now look at this and tell me आपका cost कितना हो जाएगा. 10 into 20, 200, right? And your sales revenue will be how much? 10 into 30. 10 क्या है? 10 kg and 30 is your selling price. And here what is the amount of unsatisfied demand? 30 minus 10, that is 20. So 20 into 8 rupees, again 160. So 200 minus 160, that will come as what? Sorry, 200 मैं बोल रही हूँ. This is 300 minus 200, आपका profit 100 आ रहा है and यहाँ पर loss हो रहा है 160. That means your profit will be in negative. यहाँ पे आपको loss हो रहा है. This is coming as minus 60, right? This is a loss. Then in the fifth case, you have supply of 30 and demand of 40. So here your sales revenue is 30 into 3900 and your cost is 30 into 2600. So you are getting a gross profit of how much? 300 rupees का gross profit आ रहा है. And due to unsatisfied demand, what is your, how many kgs are unsatisfied? 10 kgs here, 40 minus 30. So your loss due to unsatisfied demand is 80 rupees. So 300 minus 80, you are getting it as 220, right? आपका net profit हो रहा है 220. And finally in the last day, your supply is 40 and demand is 20. So आपका supply यहाँ पर ज़्यादा है. So there won't be any unsatisfied demand. And your sales revenue will be how much? 20 into 30 is 600 and your cost is how much? 40 into 20, 800. And here you are getting a straight loss of 200, right? So out of these, you can calculate कि कितना profit हो रहा है, कितना loss हो रहा है. So here you can calculate how much is your total loss and total profit. So 400 plus 40, 440 plus 220, it is coming as how much? 660. 660 minus 260. So ये आपका total profit हो जाएगा 400 का, right? Total profit will be 400. So in the question it had asked you to simulate the supply, demand and profit for 6 days, and here you are getting a profit of 400, right? So I hope this video has been a useful one for you guys, and from the next class onwards we will start linear programming problems, LPP, and after that we will come to line balancing. Till then, take care, bye bye, and if you find this video really helpful, then please hit the like button, subscribe to my channel, The Witty Turtle, and also share this video with every student you know who wants OMSM classes in English. And don't forget to follow me on Instagram because I'm posting some really good content over there. You can find the links for all my social media handles in the description box below.